Today I'll be discussing about few classes of anti-diabetic medications which have GLI word in their names, either in the name of the category or in the names of the examples. In the last three videos related to diabetes, the first video we discussed about insulin secretagogues, which means the medications which release insulin from the beta cells of pancreas. Second video, we discussed the entire classification of anti-diabetic medications which are used for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. The third video, we discussed about the insulin preparations. Now in this video, I will be discussing about 6 different classes of the anti-diabetic medications which has the word GLI in their name or in the category. So 6 different GLI classes of anti-diabetic drugs. So let us discuss these 6 different categories of the drugs which contains GLI word in their name of the category or the names of the examples of the drugs. The first example is second generation sulfonylureas. So why I have written second generation sulfonylureas? Because if you remember the classification of anti-diabetic drugs, we discussed that sulfonylureas are categorized into 2 generations, first generation and the second generation. First generation sulfonylureas example is tolbutamide. This tolbutamide does not contain GLI word in the nomenclature. However, the second generation sulfonylureas, let's take the examples. The examples include glipizide, gliclazide, glibenclamide, glimepiride. So these medications, if you see their names, they have the word GLI in the examples. So second generation sulfonylureas, they contain the GLI name in the examples. They work by increasing the release of insulin. So they are the examples of insulin secretagogues. The second example is meglitinides. Now if you see the word meglitinide, the category name meglitinide itself contains the GLI word in it. So this is the second category which contains GLI. Examples of these drugs include repaglinide, nataglinide. So again the GLI has come here. So these are the short acting drugs. They are also insulin secretagogues. They also release insulin from the beta cells of pancreas. So these are the 2 different categories just we should discuss which contains GLI word into it. The third category is called as the DPP4 inhibitors. And they end with the word gliptin. Examples of these drugs include sitagliptin, vildagliptin, saxagliptin. So if you look at the words, they have GLI in their examples. So DPP is dipeptidyl peptidase. So DPP4, dipeptidopeptidase 4, this is an enzyme responsible for breakdown of incretins. So when this enzyme is inhibited, the level of incretin goes up. That results in release of insulin from the pancreas. So this is the third category of the anti-diabetic medications which contains GLI word in their nomenclature. The fourth category of medications These are called as the thiazolidinediones. Thiazolidinediones. The examples include pioglitazone, proglitazone. So these words, they end with glitazones, and that's why they are called as glitazones or thiazolidinediones. The example is pioglitazone, proglitazone. So these are the drugs which are insulin sensitizers. So this is the fourth category of medications which has GLI in their nomenclature. The fifth category of medications which has GLI in their nomenclature is called as the SGLT2 inhibitors. They end with the word glipizide. Examples include empagliflozin, canagliflozin, dapagliflozin. So again, they have the word GLI in their name. So the SGLT2 is responsible for reabsorption of the glucose from the proximal tubules in the kidney. When SGLT2 is inhibited, the reabsorption is inhibited. That means more glucose will pass in the urine, and that is the mechanism of SGLT2 inhibitors, which are called as glipizins. Canagliflozin, dapagliflozin, empagliflozin. These examples, they have GLI in the name. The last category of medications, which are anti-diabetic medications, which contains GLI in their name. Some of the examples of alpha glucosidase inhibitors. The examples in this category include Miglitol, Oglibos. So there is a GLI here. There is a GLI here. Some examples: Miglitol, Oglibos, which belong to the category of alpha glucosidase inhibitors. They have GLI in their name. So alpha glucosidase is responsible for breakdown of the carbohydrate and the absorption of the carbohydrate from the intestine. When alpha glucosidase is inhibited, the absorption of carbohydrate from the intestine is decreased. So some of the examples: Miglitol, Oglibos, they have GLI in their name. There is another example called as Acarbose. Acarbose does not contain GLI in the name, and that's why I said some alpha glucosidase inhibitors. So just to summarize, there are 6 categories of anti-diabetic medications which has the word GLI in either their category name or the example's name. First category is second generation sulfonylureas. Example include glipizide, gliclazide, glibenclamide, glimepiride. Meglitide derivatives. Example include repaglinide, nataglinide. Third category is DPP-4 inhibitors. Examples include gliptins. Examples are sitagliptin, vildagliptin, saxagliptin. Thiazolidinediones, they end with the word glitazone. So pioglitazone, proglitazone, these are the examples of thiazolidinediones. SGLT2 inhibitors, they end with glipizin. Examples include empagliflozin, canagliflozin, dapagliflozin, and some alpha glucosidase inhibitors. Examples are Miglitol, Oglibos. So these are the 6 categories of medications which have the GLI word in either the examples of the medications or the categories names of the medications. So the first and the sixth, the examples have GLI in it, whereas the 2, 3, 4 and 5, they have the GLI word which is coming in their mechanism or the category name as well as the example names. Thank you.